not too light, because then it starts sounding like a sharper sound, like closer to a slap. We want a nice, full, open, even, open note. Hello everyone, William Johnson here. In this percussion tutorial, I'm going to talk briefly about getting a nice, full, open open note, tone, some people call it tone, or open tone, and a nice, round, full bass note, all right? Open note. Now, we want to make sure that our fingers are not spread apart too far, not too close, not pressing into the drum too much, choking a little bit of that sound, not too light, because then it starts sounding like a sharper sound, like closer to a slap. We want a nice, full, open, even, open note, all right? So you want to find the balance between your fingers being out here and in here, okay? Now, depending on the genre, the sound, you might want to do that. You might want to have a little more of the fingers looser. It's going to be a thinner sound, maybe a sharper sound. What I mean by that is a little more, a little bit more of the punctuation, like a slap, that's a slap, an open slap. But if you have your fingers too far out and then you're just throwing your hands down, every now and then it's going to be a sharper sound. If you're trying to control your sound and make everything even and sound the same, or sound the way you want it to sound when you want it to sound that way, then we want to practice having our hands, we call it articulation, the way we're actually placing our hands on our instrument. You want to practice that and be intentional about that, all right? So I almost have this kind of a diamond type thing, like if I was catching a football, but thumb's not completely far out here, but like that. So I'm not putting too much tension on my fingers, but there's enough that I'm keeping them somewhat natural. Okay, not far apart, not like this, all right? And then what I'm doing is I have them about the center of my palm, right at the rim of the drum, and I'm coming down and allowing my fingers to bounce up and have space on the drum. The idea is that we want the sound to reverberate in the atmosphere that we're in, okay? All right? Now, there's different types of open notes. I can make it more of a muted open note. Okay, so listen to the difference. I'm going to play with my fingers all the way into here and then pressing into the drum just slightly. They're all open notes. And you'll notice that the sound changes through the progression. Hear that? As opposed to completely resonant, somewhat a little muted, not completely muted, but a little bit, right? Open, just a little muted. So there's a lot of different types of open notes. So we want to work on getting a nice round sound. Center of the drum, right here. Now, just a single exercise, playing singles. We want to play so that our wrists, when one is down, the other one's up. Okay, like we're connected on some type of mechanism that when one comes down, the other one's connected on that joint and it comes up like that because we want to work on this wrist. Now, a lot of motion comes through where the elbow's coming, all right? But we want to be able to control this wrist, all right? And so we want to work on that. When one is up, the other one's down. Now we can work on a single exercise where we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we go to eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 16th notes. E and a 2, E and a 3, E and a 4, E and a. We can do 2 of each. Practice that for 5 minutes straight. Set a timer to keep ourselves accountable. Try to make each sound the same and count out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 16, 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a quarter notes. Okay, that's a good exercise where we can work on it, but the idea is here is slow down, make each one sound the exact same. Watch where we're at and work on the wrists. Okay, all right, so eventually later we can have more control and power. Even when I'm playing more with wrist, if I'm playing quieter, I can employ that wrist a little bit to get a little more of a whipping motion to get more power with less movement. All right, this idea here, wrist, relax shoulder motion, okay? Not too far out here. All right, not too much in here. Okay, all right, bass notes. One of the things that I see happen often is beginners often are doing this shoulder thing. You really see it if the person's right-handed and they go to do a left-handed bass note with their left arm there. But you want to have more of a reaching motion. Think like you're swimming or like a dog digging in the ground, right? You want to come forward and just reach, natural. Now, I'm not doing the center of the drum here thing. Now, you could do that, right? Especially if I was playing with my fist. But if I want to play rolls and incorporate my left and my right hand with more fluidity, then I want to have my left hand on the left side of the drum and my right hand on the right side of the drum, okay? So I'm coming forward, boom, boom, all right? And I'm playing mostly with the center of the palm, but I'm allowing the whole hand to come down on the drum, and think of it like pushing air out of the bottom of the drum. So you want to have space between the floor and you. If you're seated, then you want to tilt the drum a little away from you. Get some air underneath that drum, okay? So I have my hand coming down here. I'm not putting a whole lot. I'm not doing this. Nothing on the shoulder joint. I'm not moving. I'm not being stiff with the arm, because this is not as efficient as this later on, okay? It's just like boxing. Now, we get power by coming in here, but when it comes to playing over here, and we're also going down into the drum, I'm not punching anything, right? I'm coming down here, and if I'm gonna play sustained rolls, this is gonna be less efficient than this right here, okay? This is looser. We're gonna be more relaxed, all right? So I'm playing, and I'm adding just a little bit of tension, all right? Coming down in the drum. Bass exercise. We can do the same thing as we do with the open, okay? But we're going to play basically bass notes. Bass, 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 all right? Quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 16th notes, and then so on and so forth. Notice what I'm doing here. I'm being relaxed, all right? Now, what will really help is if we combine this bass note with an open note to work on this motion here, okay? So the first exercise, the only exercise of this particular video for the bass and open note combination, is we'll start off with our left hand, but you can start off with your right too, all right? We're going to play left, right, bass, bass. Then we're going to slide back to about the center of the palm for that open note and play left, right. And that's it. Bass, bass, open, open. Making sure that these are completely different sounds. Boom, boom, open, open. All right? And we can play those as quarter notes, eighth notes, and 16th notes. Also, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and right. And then 16th notes. 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 4E and a 1, 2. And you can go on, set a metronome for 5 minutes, set a very slow tempo, and work on that back and forth. Making sure you're pushing that air out of there, getting a nice solid thud bass sound. If you're not careful and you get a little more fingers and there's too much and there's air underneath there and that palm is not connecting fully, you get that sharp attack of the drum as well, and not enough of the thud and the bass. All right, so we want to focus on that. Having clear, distinct tones is one of the biggest things that separates more advanced players. All right, you want to be able to have control over that. Once you have some control, you play whatever you want to play. Do whatever it is that you want to do. No rules, but at least you're able to have some control over that, right? And that's the whole idea, is to be able to express yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, and you might have noticed this shirt that I'm wearing. If you like this shirt, I am selling these via my website and the channel. There's a link in the description below. I'm selling the crew neck and a V-neck. It's a nice, soft shirt, and I'm sure it'll look even better on you. All right, everyone, let me know what you think. Check out the shirt. All right, God bless you all. Thank you so much for watching. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you, bless you, and I'll see you soon.